So I played Magic the Gathering when I was a kid. As early as 1994, I would not eat lunch. I would save up my money so I can buy packs of Magic the Gathering, and the rest was history. Welcome to Around the Table, the show that brings you up close and personal to the hobby collectors and the fascinating collections that they have. We'll delve into the world of card games, watches, board games, collectible toys, and so much more. So today in Around the Table, I would be the one sharing you my collection and how I got started into, in essence, getting back into Magic. So I played Magic the Gathering when I was a kid. As early as 1994, I would not eat lunch. I would save up my money so I can buy packs of Magic the Gathering, and the rest was history. Eventually, of course, life became reality and had to work, and I had to let go of the hobby. However, in the recent years, they've built something that got my eye, and that was the Commander Precon decks. So these are pre-constructed decks in the Commander format. The Commander format is one of the many formats inside Magic the Gathering. It's outside the competitive space in Magic the Gathering, so it's more casual, but there are competitive decks in Commander. So I want to show you the decks that I have in Commander, and this is not the complete set. However, these are my favorites. So the first one here in this yellow deck is Vrondis. So Vrondis is a red-green dragon deck. He's kind of emo. If he gets hurt, he will call upon his dragon friends and create other more dragons to come to his aid. But as soon as they do their thing, they disappear. That's kind of how the deck works. There's a lot of dragons, and my first deck is not red-green. It's actually a goblin deck, and the reason why was my brother wanted a dragon deck. So my brother wanted a dragon deck, and I was saving up for my deck as well. So I managed to build a goblin deck at that time, and the rest of our money we put it in the dragon deck. The only problem was when I was a kid, it was a kind of a taboo. I don't know if you guys remember the time that they thought Magic is something that shouldn't be played by kids. So our decks were incinerated, literally. There's a card in Magic called Incinerate that when something is incinerated, it doesn't come back. That's kind of what happened with our deck. They literally burned it. But my love for Magic didn't go away, so hence this Commander deck. It roughly sort of one of my more powerful decks in the Commander. When I say pre-constructed decks, I don't mean I'm buying packs anymore. They come in a box, and all of what you need to play is all there. So next one in my favorite is this. So this is from the Dungeons and Dragons World Beyonds. Did I say that right? Beyond Worlds. Something. It's basically Magic is collaborating with other brands. So Magic collaborated with D&D, with Dungeons and Dragons, and so this is the Party Time deck. And the Party Time deck, your goal is, this is the Party Time deck, isn't it? Yes. Yep. No, human rule. Okay. So the Party Time deck, you want to have your best party members as complete as possible. The more party members you have, the more combos you're able to pull off. And I like it in a usual Commander format. It's because in the Commander format, there's normally 2 to 4 players. And in the 2 to 4 player format, having board presence that can combo and create stuff works quite well. All right, so let me set these aside so we can see the rest. I'm not going to pan through all of the cards because there's quite a bit of them. And I just want to talk about the different decks. So the Party Time deck, what I showed you earlier, it's pretty fun. I will get to this blue-green just yet. I'm going to do this first. So this is Chishiro from the Kamigawa world inside Magic. Magic has so many worlds. It has worlds all about demons that are like all in the Prohibition era, and they are wearing bowler hats, and they have worlds that are just full of angels. They have worlds that are dinosaurs, pirates, and things like that. So that's pretty interesting. And so one of my favorite worlds inside Magic is the Kamigawa, which is like the Japanese Legend of the Five Rings answer to the Japanese lore. So Chishiro is a commander deck that is focusing on this term called modified. The idea is if your creature is somehow enhanced, there's some tokens on it, there's some extra powers, it has an equipment, then therefore it's modified, and it will start to interact with those, give it more, boost it more, give it more power. So what I really like about this deck is that you can have simple tokens like a small spirit token, a simple goblin, but because of how they're modified, then Chishiro will give them extra benefits. You gain so much value, even if you're not really spending anything on your turn. So I really like that. And it's a red-green, so it's one of my favorite colors. So finally, the one that... So this is my favorite color style in Magic, blue-green. And this one is from Lord of the Rings. So this is... What is the name of this again? This is Galadriel, the Elven Queen. So if you guys have Amazon, she has a series in Amazon at the moment. And so this is all about the Lord of the Rings elves. This whole deck is pretty much all elves, but it's about the council. So they introduce a very interesting mechanic right now. So imagine you have 4 players that are playing. This deck introduces voting. You'll basically have cards where you guys will have to vote which way it will go. And that's very interesting because normally in Magic, sometimes there's what we call solitaire decks. They just play on their own. So this one allows you to have everybody have conversation. Okay, are we giving this guy extra cards, or are we allowing one of his creatures to become the monarch and stuff like that? So it's pretty cool. I love the art, and I don't know if I can find it. So there's Gandalf over there, and there's Galadriel here. So the normal deck, so I normally don't customize my Precons, my Commander Precons. The reason why is that I don't want to spend more than what it costs. They do cost a bit per deck, and I'm happy with that. I get to play with my friends, and whenever we meet, I can still compete and enjoy the game. But there was an exception. This had a Legolas, and the one inside this deck was based on the Legolas from the books, so he wasn't as good. So he was sort of like not the cooler Legolas. This normally comes with a booster pack, a sample booster pack with 2 cards. Guess what I got? I got a Legolas that's sort of the movie Legolas version, and it comes in this foil pack with foil art, additional frame and whatnot. I couldn't resist customizing it only for 1 card. I only customized it for 1 card, and it came with the box anyway. So that one is pretty fun. Even though I have played the human faction in the Lord of the Rings LOTR Commander Precons, they seem to be more powerful, but this one I really quite like. So if you guys are previous Magic gamers, this is something quite interesting for you guys to try out. Of course, as you've already probably noticed, I do have a sealed Commander deck here, and this is coming from my newfound favorite world inside Magic the Gathering. This is from Eldraine. She doesn't exactly look like it, but she's actually depicting Snow White. The specific Snow White, the one where she's in the forest and there's all of these woodland creatures that are joining her in her journey. So we will unbox this and see what's inside, so you guys have an idea what you get when you try out a game of Commander, especially the ones from the Precon. Okay. So you open it from the bottom. Don't open this from the top. I always make that mistake because I always get too excited. But there is an easy peel off card there, and then you just slide them off. Ooh, there's a bro. Cool. Okay, so you have the cards. So they have the box inside, and I think there's an RFID. That's cool. There's an RFID there. These are the cards themselves. They have these, they're quite thin tokens. They used to be deck boxes, so there's moving things around of what you guys can do, but it gives you an idea of what the deck might need. So this means some +1/+1 tokens. I don't know what this is. We'll find out. Okay. You have a rule book of how to play about the deck and the commander rules, and you have a nice mini poster of the art of the commander itself. So Fear of the Wild Forest. And this is, I believe, so that's where they place it. So this is what a pack would look like. This is a sample pack and only has 2 cards. That's gonna be exciting what we're gonna get. I'm not particularly familiar which ones are good. This is actually a deck box. So you can, once you sleeve the cards, you could use this as your, if I don't break it, you can do this. You can really do this. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, so there. That's the deck box, and it's not that good of a deck. It will do. It will capture your cards, but you've seen my deck box earlier. It's more reinforced because they are cards. So if you do want them to survive play, there's some sort of flap that's sometimes hard to see, but if you get it right, then you can peel off the plastic. But be a bit careful, because some of the cards in Commander, even though it's Precon, sometimes it's good enough that it's more expensive than the deck itself. That happens because somebody found a combo that will work quite well, and now this card, which is only found in a Commander deck, is now at this price, and they want to use it in tournaments and whatnot. So you get this sort of token card that is actually, this is what is really playable. This is just sort of token for you because it's on a thicker cardboard, and this is technically not usable because your cards must be able to go back in the deck. So this is Elevere, one of the commanders, and normally the way commanders work is their color dictates what colors you can use in your deck. In this case, you have green mana, the forest, and plains, which is white. And their alternate commander is Gilwain, casting director. So Gilwain, they introduced a new mechanic here where you are given roles. You can give Gilwain can give the royal role token, the sorcerer role token, and the monster role token. Roles are sort of like enchant creatures. So I'll be sleeving these cards in a bit, but we're just gonna quickly go through. Yes, that is a liberated livestock. The way that card works is that when they die, they become a spirit cow, bird, and kitten. Yep, that actually happened. So there's quite a few more. Yeah, so just quickly go through the cards. Timber Paladin. Alright, so really cool art. That's and this one is pretty cool. These are what they call adventure. So you can kind of see that there are 2 sections. You have the creature, and then you have this adventure. And the idea is if you're able to you can send it first as an adventure. If that's the way you're able to do it, you do the adventure part first, and then once that's resolved, you can then bring him back, in essence finishing his adventure into play, using this as the cost. So in essence, like using the card twice. So definitely good for card economy. All right, so that's what it looks like. We're not going to go through all of those. It's commander decks. It's always 100 cards. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to finally open the pack and see what is the random pick. Because all of the commander decks, they're pre-constructed. You can see their list online, and you know exactly what you're going to get. So, but for the random backs, and this is, I guess, why people keep coming back to Magic, is that random, it's a very alluring, because you don't know what you're gonna get type of approach. So, okay, so this is just a token. Discover coolest cards. All right, so we have, that looks cool. So we have Compulsion. I think this is a reprint, because I remember this back in my days in the 90s or early 2000s. It's called Compulsion. Discard the card, draw a card, sacrifice a bunch. Yes. So this is featuring sort of a full art. So the frame itself, so it's foil, and then it's going outside of the frame of the card. So that is pretty cool. Nice to see that again in new form. And I have Lord Skitter's Blessing, which is a black enchantment. Not usable in my deck. Both are not usable in my deck, but they're pretty cool to see. And this one is giving a Wicked Roll. But that is nice to see again. Maybe I can put it in the elf deck earlier. So that's what you get inside a commander deck. That's already playable. You just gotta sleeve them, because it's hard to play them with just as is, because they're gonna you'll see them scathed on the sides. All right, so what I really like about playing Commander, specifically the way I'm playing Commander, is that I get to play Magic the Gathering again with my friends, with people, and I don't have to chase the cards anymore. You could play Commander in the competitive format, build your Commander deck, spend as much as you want, chase all of the unique cards. And the Commander format, you only need one copy of a card, but you need 100 of them. And then there's so many ways, there's thousands and thousands of cards, so it's quite daunting already for me to search for what is best for my deck. However, the Precons, because there's thematic, they've thought about how it plays well with other Precons. I like it. I like that it's themes that I'm interested in, and that's why I think it's a good way to get started into playing Commander, because it's very approachable. You don't need to learn as much as in a competitive sense. Even a little bit goes a long way, and you get to experience sort of a snapshot of how Magic feels. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope that gives you a glimpse of the world of playing Commander. And for my friends who play Magic the Gathering, I hope you found my collection interesting. So until next time, if you like this content, make sure to comment below, share this with your friends. If it's okay with you, please do like and share, and also subscribe. Until next time, thank you everyone for watching. Bye.